Good afternoon, North Carolina A&T. How you doing? All right. Aggie Pride? Big week for North Carolina A&T athletics this week. Please come out and watch our men's basketball team tonight at 7 o'clock. They take on South Carolina State. Women's basketball will be here on Wednesday. Men's basketball is back here on Thursday. Got volleyball on Friday. And we got 2 senior days on Saturday with football kicking off at 12 p.m. and volleyball kicking off at 4 p.m. It is crossover season here in North Carolina A&T. So if you're an Aggie fan, we've got a lot of sporting events for you this week. North Carolina A&T is coming off a loss at Stonybrook on Saturday. We come back here on this Saturday to take on Mammoth, the 12th ranked team in the nation. It will be senior day here for 19 young men and 6 of our helpers that help us out during the season. So here to tell us about last week and to tell us about this week is our head coach, Mr. Shawn Gibbs.
Good afternoon. Like always, I'd like to start off by thanking my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for all that he has done and all that he will continue to do. Obviously, we had another disappointing loss to Stonybrook. I got to find a way to get our team to come out with more energy and be more excited about the opportunity to play this beautiful game of football. First off, hats off to Coach Kosh and his staff at Stonybrook. They are a really well-coached football team, classy program. They dominated us in the first half. I thought that they were more physical than us, and I think they did a good job offensively of staying patient and kind of taking what our defense was giving them. But in the second half, I do think defensively we made some adjustments and played a lot better, only allowing them to score 7 points in the second half. We also did a good job of containing Dempster, who came into the game as the second leading rusher in the CAA, and he was, I think, 70-something yards away from getting to 1,000. So we went into the game saying we weren't going to let him get 1,000 on us, and I think we did a pretty good job against him. He had 60 yards on 19 carries, so they tried to get him that 1,000 yards and held him to 3.2 yards per carry. So that was pretty good. But offensively, though, it was another rough day at the office. We only had 221 yards of total offense, 41 yards rushing. That's totally unacceptable. Turned the ball over twice, back-to-back drives later in the game. Also, unacceptable. Then in the kicking game, Andrew had 2 field goals, and Aaron Harris had a nice 51-yard kickoff return. But in the kicking game, we had 10 guys on the field on punt return and delay a game on PAT. So we didn't really play well in any phase of the game. And we're better than that. I got to coach them better than that. We got to play better than that. But, here we are another week. So we got to go back to work, turn the page, and get ready to play the best team we played in the CAA. Best offense. Number 1 scoring offense, number 1 total offense, number 1 rushing offense, number 1 passing offense, number 1 red zone offense, number 1 third down offense. If it's got a number 1 behind it, it says Mammoth. Number 1 rusher in the country, Rodney Nelson, really good running back, 1,500 yards, averages 157 yards a game. And as opposing coach, he's one of the players that I really enjoy watching him. He's a good player, really good running back. Defensively, Monmouth, if you look at their stats, it's not going to blow you away. But once you pop on the film, man, you understand that they're opportunistic defense. They play fast and they play physical, and they're extremely well coached. Coach Callahan is one of the best coaches in the country. He's been at Mammoth for over 30-plus years as their head coach. They have a culture and a standard. last week we played Stonybrook, and when Coach Callahan took the job at Mammoth as the head coach, Coach Kosh at Stonybrook was being born. That's how long he's been there. So, we got a tremendous challenge in front of us, but these are the games that anybody that's a competitor really looks forward to. For us, it's senior day, and we need to do everything in our power to send our seniors out the right way. So we got to have a great week of preparation and get ready for a tremendous challenge.
Coach, what message do you have for your seniors?
I just want to tell them how much I appreciate them and thank them for all the sacrifices that they made throughout their career, and that we're going to do everything in our power to try to send these guys out the right way this week. We owe them that. But I'm just extremely proud of them. And, Corian, he got an invitation to the Legacy Bowl. So that was great. Now we're waiting on Aaron Harris and Andrew Brown to get theirs. I keep saying that. So hopefully Legacy Bowl will see this and do right by those guys. But, just want to thank them for everything that they've done in their journey. And, I'm telling them they're going to be able to look back years from now. A lot of people can't see it, but we can. And they're going to know that they were the foundation for what we're building.
How have you seen some of those seniors grow throughout the season?
Well, not only throughout the season, I've seen a lot of them grow throughout their career. Guys like Wesley and Corian, I was here when those guys came. So, I've seen them grow from young boys into men. And I like the way they handle their business. A whole bunch of them have their degrees already. Some of them are working on, their masters. So, I'm just extremely excited about the future for those guys, whatever it may be. I know that they're going to be successful.
One thing I've noticed kind of on the sidelines is regardless of how the game is going, you're adamant about being vocal whenever a player makes a play. I know DJ Page, maybe for example, messed up on the punt and on the next play and got it in. You were adamant about being loud and kind of encouraging him. Why is that important to you to be vocal and uplift your players like that?
Well, that's what it's about. I mean, you say something good happens, keep playing. Something bad happens, keep playing. You can't just say it. You got to live by it. So anytime they do something well, I'm going to go congratulate and tell them, encourage them and let them know. Once you become consistent in doing things well, then you're going to be a good player. And DJ is a prime example of that. Once he really becomes consistent, he's going to be one of the best punters in the country. He's a younger guy right now, and he's growing and working each and every day. But we got a bunch of guys. They're going to get better. You can't just get on them when they do something bad. You got to encourage them and uplift them when they do something good.
You spoke about the second half, a lot there showing defensively. Can you speak on what adjustments that you want to make in defense?
Well, we really just challenged them a little bit. Didn't allow them to throw the quick game. And, they have a good system. I mean, Coach Kosh is really bright offensive mind, so they saw that we were going to stop the run. So, they were hitting us on some quick outs and quick game, getting the ball out fast. So we kind of walked down and challenged them a little more. And, but even in the first half, some of the plays, I know a lot of people, there were 3 touchdowns where, those guys are on scholarship too. And they make some plays and just made a better play. We were in position and guy made a play. That's something you can coach off of. We can coach that up. What we can't coach off of is when you're not in position to make a play. So some of those, they just made a better play than we did. But we ended up, to answer your question, we kind of walked down and challenged them and took some of the quick throws away. And then we had a lot more success.
And it seemed like they were, like you mentioned, they were not sold out on this establishing a run. Do you see a lot of that this year with teams just kind of going past happy early on against you guys?
No. I mean, I think that they have a good coaching staff. So as their offensive coordinator is looking at our front and seeing how the defense is set, they're going to call a play where they think they can be successful. And I'll stick by my guns. I'd rather somebody throw the ball on us than be able to run it. So we're going to make you throw the ball. And if you can beat us like that, then more power to you.
One player that stood out defensively was, of course, your defensive tackle, Marquise Hood. And he's, I guess, a guy who came from Fort Valley State. He does.
Yeah.
And let's talk about his effort. He had, 3 sacks this past week?
Yeah, he got after the quarterback. We need him to play a little better in the run game, be a little bit more dominant. That's what he's capable of doing. But he's one of the better players in the country. You know, I think he's top 15 in the nation in sacks. He's number 3 in the conference, and he plays defensive tackle. So he's a guy that's extremely athletic. He's got a bright future in front of him. And, you know, I just look forward to continue to watch his growth.
Coach, this obviously, hasn't been it's been a challenging season for us, but what has been the biggest thing that you've learned throughout this whole season?
Wow, that's a loaded question. I think the thing that I've learned is you got to value and understand the importance of doing the little things. Prime example, I think our problem is not taking our hats off in the building. Now, I say that because before the game, I'm walking down to the bus. We don't have a lot of team rules, but our rules are our rules. And one of our rules is take your hat off in the building. Pull your pants up. We don't want your britches sagging. And I walk down in the lobby, and it's 5 or 6 guys with a toboggan on their head. And I had to say something to them. And the thing that I don't like is it was coaches down there that didn't say anything to them. And it was players sitting beside them and didn't say anything to them. That's because we don't value doing the little things. Taking your hat off in the building seems like something small. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, if you're not doing that, how can I count on you to do the little things on the field? How you do anything is how you do everything. So that's what I'm trying to get across to our team. We kind of look at things on a macro level rather than a micro level. It's the little things. That's what's killing us. And once we understand that, I think we'll be a lot better. I know Coach Hayes used to always start off the season and he would tell everybody in the audience, the team, raise your hand if you have been bit by a giraffe. And of course, nobody would raise their hand. Then he said, raise your hand if you've been bit by a mosquito. And everybody raised their hand. It's the little things that get you. That's the message. So that's what we got to understand. We got to understand the importance of doing the little things.
How can you, going forward, how can you, I guess, continue to encourage, players and coaches, to build on that character to really prioritize the little things?
Well, obviously, I got to be more demanding as the head coach. That's the first thing. I got to be more demanding on that stuff. And then secondly, I got to have some help. I got to have coaches and players that understand the value of the little things. It's not my rule. See, when you look at things like it's my rule, then you don't value it. If you look at it like it's our rule and this is how we do things and this is the standard, because we're not the only people that have that. I mean, at Alabama, when Coach Saban was there, you couldn't wear a hat in the building. You couldn't wear earrings. You couldn't do none of that. That wasn't Coach Saban's rule. That was how Bama did it. And that's what we got to get to where we understand this is how we do it at A&T. And then once we get that, we'll see the results.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, offensively, kind of inconsistent effort from the quarterback position. KJ has some good throws and some problems with the ones he wanted back. Just speaking as a coach, when did you decide it's time to go to the bullpen maybe when the quarterback's struggling, or do you kind of want to have your starters go as long as he can?
Well, again, I think that's a loaded question. When the time is called for and we have somebody who we feel like gives us a better opportunity to manage the game, run the game, and we can benefit from them being in there, then we'll make an adjustment. But a lot of times the quarterback gets the blame far too much. Now, did KJ miss some throws? Absolutely. Some throws that a college quarterback should be able to make. But also, he was under a lot of pressure. And you're not seeing the all-22 film. You don't know if the guy was not in the right spot. You don't know if he was covered and there was no room to throw the ball. All we see is the quarterback holding on to it, and we think it's the quarterback. Does he deserve some of the blame? Absolutely. But it's not on him. It's on all of us. So KJ White is not our problem. Our problem is a team problem. That's from the top down, starting with me and everybody else. It's not KJ. But to answer your question, when we feel like somebody can give us a better opportunity or we need a spark, then we can go with the backup. But I also want our guys to know that we believe in them. And I'm going to stick with you through the good and the bad.
Would you say your offense is kind of more of a one quarterback system? I saw Stonybrook, they brought in Zealous just for small package run plays. Do you guys envision ever having that element to your offense, or do you kind of want to go with one guy until you make him some replacement?
Well, that depends. If we feel like that gives us a better chance, then yeah, we'll do that. I mean, I think we'll probably use Nelson a little bit more this week. We also have to keep in mind our future, so we didn't want to play Nelson in too many games. We're trying to preserve his red shirt, but now we got 2 more games left. You'll see more of Nelson Lane.
Coach, I'm curious, I noticed the run game kind of struggled to get off the ground on Saturday. What did you kind of notice was going on? Was it something in particular Stonybrook was doing, or did you feel like it was kind of maybe on your end?
Well, I mean, you got to give credit to them. Definitely something they was doing. They was whooping our butts. But, also has a lot to do with us. We've had some injuries up front, had to play a number of guys. So, it's a number of things going on up there. But, the bottom line is nobody cares. Stonybrook doesn't care. Mammoth doesn't care what's going on our offensive line or on our football team. We got to find a way to get out there and be productive. That's the bottom line. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what's going on. It's a get it done business, and we got to produce. So we got to find a way to run the football. We haven't really done it all year. 41 yards is unacceptable. And we're playing another tough defense, and that's what I'm trying to get across to our team. This conference is about toughness. The teams in this conference, they're tough, they're gritty, and we got to be the same. We got to exceed their intensity. We got to exceed their toughness. We got to play a physical brand of football. We're going to win in this conference, but the sooner we get across in our heads that the toughness that it takes to be competitive in this conference, then we'll start to see some results. Then we got to understand, and this is not a shot at anybody else, but we're not in the MEAC anymore. If you look at the FCS, the CAA would be a Power 4 in the FCS with the Big Sky, the Missouri Valley, and SoCon, and the CAA. We're right there. We're one of the tougher conferences in the country. Last week had 2 teams ranked in the top 10. Like, it's about toughness. So we got to get tougher. We got to get grittier, and of course we got to coach them better. We got to find a way.
You talked a little bit about those second half adjustments, but what did you kind of see going on in the first half? And was it anything similar to kind of maybe some first half struggles the rest of the season?
Well, I mean, I think we were flat, and that's something I'm trying to figure out. I don't get it. That's something I can't relate to. When I wake up on Saturday morning, I'm ready to go. I'm excited. I got to calm myself down. I kind of got to stay away from people until game time because I'm so amped up and ready to go. So, I think we just got to understand this is a blessing to be able to play college football. So when you wake up on Saturday morning and it's time to go, you got to be ready to go. Then when you hit that field, you got to find a way to find some energy and go out there and play like your hair is on fire. So I just don't think we're coming out with the intensity that's required, especially against good teams. If you're playing an okay team and you come out slow, you might be able to hang around. But when you're playing people like Stonybrook and Mammoth, and you come out slow, they can blow your doors off and the score can get out of hand before you know it. Example is like Maine. We see now Maine is a good football team, but we came out slow against them, and then we finally woke up and we were able to play with them. Stonybrook in the second half, we were able to play with those guys. But we got to wake up and be ready to go. I don't know what we're waiting on. So, that's on me. I got to find a way to get us going faster and starting with a sense of urgency and then being able to maintain that throughout the game.
How much do you feel like your message about coming out with that intensity has changed throughout the season? Have you kind of maybe tried some different tactics as you kind of noticed that trend and tried different things?
Well, I mean, I've tried a lot of stuff. We start off practice competing against each other with tempo. Every team meeting I talk about starting fast, winning the middle 8, and finishing strong. And, I'm just not getting the message through. We don't understand how important it is to start fast. So, just got to keep working, keep trying to hammer the message home, and hopefully we'll get it. We got to start fast on Saturday. Now, we got to do that. Ain't no choice. we got to start fast. We're facing an explosive offense. Their quarterback hadn't played in 4 weeks, and he's still in the top 5 in passing. So we can't afford to come out sluggish, and hopefully we won't. You know, it's senior day. It should be a lot of emotion in the air, so we should come out fired up.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so then you talk about the intensity, and we're getting towards the end of the season. Obviously, still games to play, but I hear people talk about roster management all the time, and kind of, I guess that's a year-round evaluation process, and I guess that's kind of where you guys are in it as well.
As far as
Just, you know, when you're looking at the intensity and the things that you guys want to change as the culture, is this like, I mean, I guess it's an ongoing evaluation.
yeah.
To this part of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. We trying to, you know, it's kind of back to Samaj's question when he was talking about playing, you know, multiple quarterbacks. Like, we're evaluating this every day, and every day you're competing for your job. And you know, yeah, we've made some roster management. You know, made some yesterday. Got rid of some guys. Don't want to buy in. So if you're not going to do things the way that we want to do it, I mean, we've been losing with you. So good luck to you. But yeah, so, you know, and that, of course, the most important part of roster management is recruiting. So, you know, we've been hitting the recruiting trail and got some good guys in the boat already. Can't really talk about right now, but so we're constantly in this year round with this roster management stuff. But, you know, for us, I'm really trying to just get us to understand the potential that we have and how good we can be when we decide to play. It's just, you know, it's got to be consistent, and we're just not a consistent football team right now.
I guess the natural follow-up to what you just said, you said you had to release a couple guys from the team. I guess specifically, as you want to get into, like, was it disciplinary stuff? Was it something about this performance? What?
It was more about buy-in and guys doing things that are counterculture. I don't want to get into it, but you know, it's sickening, some of the stuff that was going on, and we're not gonna tolerate that. We need guys in this program that care about their teammates, that want to do things the right way, and understand the sacrifices that you have to make to be a college football player.
And just because you mentioned earlier, you talked about coaches. Also, you want, I guess you said you want a little bit more your coaching staff. Is that a natural evaluation process too, as a head coach, that you're saying, do I have the right pieces around me? And I guess where are you at as far as your thought process going to the off season on if you need to bring in additional help on the coaching staff?
Well, you know, coaching staff is just like the players, constantly being evaluated. And you know, for me, I'm going to evaluate our coaches on the way that their players perform, and not only on the football field, but how do your guys perform in the classroom? Are your guys on list? Are they always showing up on an academic report? Are they doing the right thing? You know, that's what I want to know, because, you know, regardless, this has been a disappointing season, but I try to keep things in perspective, and my main goal is to help develop men. And so men isn't just about football. You know, we got to develop these guys as men, as a whole person. So it's more than just about what they're doing on the field. Are we teaching them to do the right things? Are we being a good example to them? Are we demanding that they do things the right way on the field, in the classroom, and in the community? Because big picture, that's what's going to get us to where we're trying to go.
This is kind of a weird question. I'm going to throw it out there.
Okay.
As a head coach, what do you like the most about this position? I mean, some people like recruiting. Some people like calling plays, whatever. What do you like the most out of just being a head coach right now?
I don't know if I can tell you what I like the most. I can tell you what I miss the most, and that's being able to coach. Like, I don't get to coach and have those the relationships that I used to have as a position coach. Seeing those guys every day, really getting down in the dirt with them and teaching them how. You know, now it's kind of, you know, spotty when I get to coach. So I miss coaching, but I would say the thing that I probably do enjoy the most is the management part of it. You know, I have to be involved in everything, and I'm constantly learning and trying to get better. I know I got to do a way better job than I'm doing, but I really do enjoy the management part of it and trying to put people in positions to be successful.
This new normal of recruiting with revenue sharing, NIL, and the transfer portal. I understand there's a change in the transfer window.
Mm-hmm.
How does that affect you? And here's my second part of the question. Overall, how different will this all season as far as recruiting be than even maybe 2 years ago?
Well, I think the first thing is going to affect everybody because the portal is now the 2nd through the 16th in January. So now that's when the window's open, but you got to think about when school starts, when classes start. So it's a very short window to get guys in, get them evaluated, bring them on visits, and try to get them into class. So, that's going to be extremely, extremely difficult. But I think we'll manage it. But, like I said, my thing is I still want to build this program on the backs of developing high school players. And then we got to find the right pieces in the portal that are going to fit us. The hard part is being able to evaluate these guys. Because what I'm not going to do, and let me look in the camera when I say this, I know there's a whole lot of coaches out there that's doing that right now. I'm not going to be calling kids that are not in the portal and trying to poach other people's players or have my GAs call our guys and ask them how much it's going to take. I'm not doing all that. We're going to do things the right way. So when it opens, we got to do a great job, and we got to do it very fast and evaluating these guys and trying to get as much background information as we can on them, then getting them set up for visits. So it's going to be new, but, it's not only new for us, it's new for everybody. So I'm excited about it.
I guess you have an idea of how much NIL budget you would have at your disposal already?
No.
Well, let me throw this out here. Do you have a goal that you would like to feel comfortable with to be able to play with this offseason?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't want to say that publicly, but I've shared with Earl Hilton the number that I think we need to be at, and I think we can get there. It's a good size number too. But if we want to be competitive in today's world, then that's what we're going to have to do. And my thing is, like I've always said, it's going to be important for us. We're not going to be able to match what a lot of these schools that are calling our players and trying to get them already. We're not going to be able to match them, but we should be able to give our guys something where they can feel comfortable, where they can stay in a place where they're already playing, stay with coaches and teammates that they're familiar with, and not have to go in, even though we're still going to compete every day and really earn a position. So, for us, it's going to be about being able to maintain our players that we have, because we got quite a few that people are, talking to and shouldn't be. And, I don't think that's right. And I think the NCAA or somebody needs to get control of it. But, beyond that, there are going to be some guys in the portal that we're, going to be looking for some money, and we're going to have to be able to compete with, And it's a lot of kids out here that and high school kids is asking for money already, but it's a whole bunch of kids it's not. It's a whole bunch of kids that's just looking for an opportunity, and good football players. So, it's always a trickle-down effect. I think we're going to have more access to really good high school players than we did in the past, because a lot of the big boys are going to have to pass on kids because they're getting kids out the portal. So we'll have access to some really good high school players, and so I look forward to that.
How soon do you have to wait for it to trickle down? Like, will you be players the first week that the portal opens, or you have to wait maybe a month before?
Well, I'm saying, like, right now there's guys out there that's available. It's already trickling down because a lot of the D1s they're already done recruiting. So it's going to be a whole bunch of guys left out there, guys that used to be Power 5 or Power 4 guys that are now Group of 5 guys, and a lot of guys that used to be Group of 5 guys that are now be FCS players. So I've seen a bunch of good high school players out there that we'll have a chance. We'll have a chance at. Our thing is we got to get them on campus. Once they get to campus, they're going to be sold. So we just got to make sure we're combing the bushes and looking under every rock and finding the best players that we can get, and we get them on campus. And I think A&T will sell itself.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all. God bless.
I'm sorry, I got carried away, man. Let's talk about football.
All right, we have with us our defensive tackle, Marquise Hood. Like Coach said, he had 3 sacks. He had 7 tackles. 6 of those were unassisted. And he will give us his name, his major, his hometown, and then the floor is open for questions. Mr. Hood.
How y'all doing? First, I'd like thank God for blessing me with the opportunity to play the game that I love. Questions?
So you were at Fort Valley State with Coach Gibbs. Just tell me the conversations you guys had when he said, you know, I'm going to be the head coach at A&T. I think you could come with me up a level.
He told me, he had asked me, do I think I'm ready to play at that level? So he challenged me. I told him, I got him. I won't let him down.
When did, I guess out of high school, did you, think that you were a Division I player? And what initially led you to Fort Valley State?
Undersized for a D tackle. Most people want their D tackles 300. I'm 275, 6'2". And I had torn my ACL coming out of high school. So most people ain't want to take a risk because they didn't think I was going to be the same player. But I feel like I'm a better player.
What kind of helped you, coming back from the ACL tear is definitely not easy. What helped you mentally adjust to get back to playing at the collegiate level?
God, first off. I did a lot of rehab. Shout out to my high school coaches. They pushed me to be the young man I am today. And shout out to Coach Gibbs for taking the risk that most colleges didn't take.
So with your success defensively, so being able to see what you're seeing on the field, getting sacks and making those tackles, just doing whatever you're able to do at your position, what are you kind of seeing out there, and what's helping you kind of see that?
Coach Cord, he give us the game plan on like what type of blocks we're gonna get. So, hold on. The type of blocks we get. So most of the time with the slide protection, it's go 4-1. So I just gotta beat my man on the one-on-one side.
So as far as your toolbox, how many moves do you have to get past those blockers when you pass rush?
I got a bag, I got a bag. I really can't get into it because most teams slide towards me because they don't like me getting off. But when I get a one-on-one, I make the best of it and win my one-on-one block.
So do you do any specialized training like in off season with your hands? I know some defensive tackles they take boxing lessons. You do anything like kind of different like that?
Nah, but I'm gonna do something this summer though. I'm gonna work my hands.
Do you have any pregame routine that you go through that kind of helps you get into the mentality to play?
Walk the field, talk to God, listen to music. I probably call my mom sometimes. So, yeah.
Do you feel like you guys are doing anything differently in the second half to get more pressure on the quarterback?
Yeah, we slowed down. We started off slow. We came out hot in the second half. We slowed the game down for them because they went up tempo, and we was just thinking we was moving. But we came together as one.
And this week, I guess, as Coach Gibbs was saying, this is your competitor. This is the game you probably want to circle. Statistically, it's the #1 offense in the conference. I'm pretty sure you've been watching film. What do you know about Mammoth, and what excites you about the possibility of playing?
They very physical. They got a very physical O-line. So, and they like to run the ball. So we take pride in stopping the run. So our main goal this week is starting fast, coming out hot, stopping the run, and forcing takeaways. We haven't got that many takeaways this year, so our goal is to get takeaways this game.
Anything else, Marquise? Thank you. Great job.
Thank you.
I know our online audience can't see this, but tomorrow is Veterans Day. If we have any veterans in the audience, will you please stand up? I got a message there that there are some cupcakes in the back for you, so please have at that. Jump in line and grab you some more refreshments. We'll have our online show ready to get going in about 5 or 10 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah, man, that would be it's you know, it's I get the nice guy, but I mean, you know, my thing is I'm trying to get those folks over there, you know, and it's just, you know, to understand how important you know, sports is, especially in football. You know, this is the front porch of your university, and it's like, you know, people keep giving them chances, but it's like, it's just, you know, enough is enough at a certain point. It's like, hey, you know,